It's Madden NFL 23.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. Taken from about the 12. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
And one nice thing you can always say about Kirk Cousins is that he's consistent. Always puts up nice numbers each and every year. If there is a downside to his game, it's been the lack of playoff success. All in all, though, a formidable starting quarterback at a time in the league where it's tough to find your franchise guy.
First play, here's Cousins. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he will have a Vikings first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On 2nd and 2, Cousins. That's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. To throw, Cousins. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Working with a 2nd and 3. Back to the ground, Cook. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Throwing, Cousins. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he will have a Vikings first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins. That'll be caught. It's Rager. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins again. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. Touchdown, Vikings. T.J. Hawkinson. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
We're still in the first quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was T.J. Hawkinson who finished the drive with a touchdown reception. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10. Right at the 30. Now Herbert to start the drive. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9. He'll buy some time right. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. We know they have these RPOs in their playbook, and look, we're seeing it here in the first quarter. You think we're going to see it as the game continues?
They trotted them out early for a reason, partner. They're letting them know that this is in the arsenal, and we rely on it. You better be prepared because this is going to be an all-day affair trying to stop them.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now it's Fields. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Here's a give to Herbert. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he will have the Bears first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard. Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down. A handoff for Herbert. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. They'll go option to the short side. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for. There they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Fields now to throw. He's got it. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Kari Blasingame taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. And boy, that was a heavy set. I think they had 3 tight ends out there. The fullback, you knew what they were going to do.
Yeah, they weren't trying to fool anybody at all, were they? There was none of this show you heavy set, bootleg it out. Nah. Big guys up front, hand it to the big guy in the backfield.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From the 10. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Stopped on the play by Jaquan Brisker.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now Cousins. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 39. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give him 12 yards that time.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. They're going back to the same well. It's Hockenson again. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. 2nd and 7. Throwing is Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll throw again. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Cousins. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. Here's Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. K.J. Osborne, 26 yards. And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Joseph on for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Bears going to take over now late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Now a first down throw, Fields. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
From the 30 on second down, Fields. He's going to air one out. He's got a man, complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Fields. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Chase Claypool 27 yards. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Santos with the extra point. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. From the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Over the middle, complete. That's Cook. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Final play of the half, Cousins. Dalvin Cook now catches on back-to-back plays. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Well, time is of the essence. We breeze through halftime, and we are ready for the second half. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Fielded right around the 8. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Fields on first down. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Herbert once more. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
2nd and 9. On the option right is Fields. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a first down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
On first down, Herbert. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Fields. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They'll run here with Herbert. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Give him 30 yards there.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Herbert. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on first down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try again. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked them back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available. And they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Here's Fields. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
No, Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and they take a 17-14 lead. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. T.J. Edwards from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play, but the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll be out right at the 35. 19 yards there on the catch and run. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Back to throw. Fields.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dean Lowry in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 20. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this 2nd half.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Open man is Osborne. He's got him. And he will have a Vikings 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Cousins toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Throwing, Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their number 1 receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't. First down now, but that clock rolling. Cousins. Flushed out right.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Ooh, with a juke. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
They'd love to get a little closer if they need to kick the field goal on 4th down. From this spot, it's 46 yards. Now Cousins. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
Here's Fields.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jonathan Bullard able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now Fields.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Back to throw. Fields. Being chased out left. Oh, what a move. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. This is Herbert. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So here's Cairo Santos on the field goal try. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. They'll spot it at the 40. It's a 50-yard kick for the win. And it's off the left upright. Oh, my goodness. Heartache. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th.
Boy, that's a big-time letdown there. You work yourself in position to win the game, but the kick winds up no good. And now you've got to regroup as a team, get the energy back up, and get ready for overtime. And make sure you pump him up, too. He may be needed to try and win it again later.
Cousins to throw. Here we go. This to avoid overtime. Floating one incomplete. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So it's the Bears who will have the first chance to win this thing as we are underway here in overtime. From the 6. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Boy, left that first defender grasping at air as he winds up getting a full 8 yards on that play. He wasn't able to really get anything going in regulation. Maybe it'll be a little different story here in overtime.
And it appears that with that call, they want to establish the run in overtime, try and set the tone for what they're going to get done. And you're right, maybe it didn't work so well in regulation. Overtime could be the charm. And by the way, yards count either way.
And he'll get about 2 there to the 36. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here comes a big one now in overtime. This is 3rd and inches.
First throw in overtime by Fields.
And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they only need about a half a foot. It's overtime, but they're back in their own territory.
And you know those decision makers that are battling inside the head coach's mind right now? One saying, hey, offense is pretty good. Other one saying, no, rely on your defense. That's what you've got to decide in this situation. Where do you have the confidence? That determines what you're going to do.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That'll be a 40. Just a single yard. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
Tension building. Here's Greg Joseph.
And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT.
Let's do it, baby. Turn it up. They got to walk that walk, baby.
And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And we will play on here in overtime.
Oh, that's so deflating, Brandon, because you know he was thinking to himself, just give me a shot. Just put us in a position.
So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the left hash, this from 34. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And this home crowd is in a frenzy as their guys have pulled it out in the end.
A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.
It has to, right? There's always just a little more emphasis on games like this. Everyone talks about playing each game the exact same way, but you and I both know that is not true. Division rivals, you want to take care of business not just at home, but against a team that you really don't like very much, too.